While Tanjiro was pushing rocks in front of Inosuke and Jisu's surprise, Jitu's sparrow was flying at quite a fast speed and was carrying a letter that seemed like this was an important matter that needed to be reported to Jisu urgently. Returning to Tanjiro's side, he was very focused. If he let his guard down for a moment, he would lose power and be pushed back. He had to try to push the rock as long as possible, not only using his hands but also his feet. He had to push with both feet. The lower half of the body has more muscle than the upper half. Seeing that his friend was able to push the rock in this blade, Inosuke did not give up and pushed the nearby rock. At this moment, only Jisu was afraid and hid behind a tree. Looking at his two friends right after that, Jisu's bird also came and took him. From this moment on, Tanjiro pushed the rock 100 meters with his eyes wide open, thus the training with the Himejima rock pillar was over. You also collapsed due to losing a lot of water. Jisu, Inos, Murata, everyone stay strong. I thought I was going to die. Because of dehydration, the rock tower came and rescued me in time. Nyan True said, completing the rock pushing training. Add more, that was a very correct action in our village. He admitted that as he spoke, he poured water on Tanjiro's face, making him almost choke. He added that Tanjiro prioritized the lives of the swordsmith villagers over the life of his sister. Having transformed into a demon, there is nothing to be ashamed of. He is the role model for other swordsmen to follow, so he feels proud of his correct actions. Tanjiro then tells Nam True that the wrong person made the decision. It's Nezuko, not you. I couldn't make a decision and almost caused the villagers to lose their lives, so please don't accept me for thinking that children are inherently innocent, weak, and lie without blinking an eye. Can do cruel things without hesitation. In other words, it's extremely selfish, but this child is really different. Tanjiro said that he always tries to walk on the path of not making mistakes even though he doesn't know what lies ahead. Because there was always someone to help, so as a result, I never made a mistake. At that time, the situation was really difficult. So please don't accept me so simply. Thank you for giving me water. Thank you for that exercise. Now I've learned a lot of things. Nam True said his doubts are now clear. No matter what anyone says, I still acknowledge you, but Tanjiro doesn't understand why, because Nam True himself in the past, he had adopted orphans in the temple. He began to reminisce about Nam True's past. After finishing making food for the children, they were happy because today's food was delicious. Nam True said that he had accidentally met a dry goods seller and was given some leftovers by that person to remind the children to be grateful to kind people and to be grateful to Ryotaro and Asami for cooking today's meal. A child named Saro gave her food to Nam True because lately she saw Nam True looking sick. The uncle smiled and said that you are truly a kind child. Taking care of you makes me very happy, but I practice physically. It's very harsh, so it's okay on an empty stomach. Why do you have to eat all of this? So everyone happily ate the meal. Even though they were not related by blood, they still harmoniously supported each other and lived together as a family. But then one night there was a child who did not keep his promise to return to the temple before leaving. When the sun set, I encountered the devil to save myself, but he led the demon to the temple to eat me and 8 other children. The land where I live is associated with anecdotes about the danger from demons. So at night it was mandatory to burn incense made from wisteria flowers. That child extinguished the incense bowl and invited the demons straight into the temple. 4 children were killed in the blink of an eye. I tried to protect the remaining 4, but 3 of them refused to listen to me. They chose to run away instead of trusting me, and their throats were slit, leading to their deaths. At that time, I ate very little, my body was skinny and my spirit was weak. I couldn't even shout or speak. Perhaps all children have the same thought, that a blind old man is just a useless thing. The only one who listens to me. The youngest in the group is the only one who hides behind me. I am determined to protect them equally. At any cost, I rushed to fight the demon. The feeling of fighting a living creature was like being tortured in hell. That horrible feeling, I will never forget it for the rest of my life. It was the first time in my life. I used all my strength to swing my fist with such power that I would have been scared. If I hadn't been attacked by a demon, I probably wouldn't have known that I was that strong for the rest of my life, so I just hit you in the head. Until dawn that night, Even though I had lost a lot of things and was covered in injuries, I still risked my life to protect. Why is it that when the people came, she said this guy is a monster? Killed by that guy. Maybe her mind is very chaotic after seeing that tragedy. She's only 4 years old, so how can we blame children for being such creatures? Even so, I still hope to feel sorry for her. I wish I could hear her say thank you for fighting to protect me. Just that one word would make me feel at peace, but children always think only of themselves. The demon's body dissolves into dust. The children's corpses remained, so I was thrown into prison for murder. If it weren't for the Lord's rescue, I would have been executed. Since then, I've become very suspicious. Of course, I'm also suspicious of you, even though I usually am. No matter how good Thean's back is, when the moment of decision comes, his true nature will be revealed. But he doesn't run away, doesn't turn away, doesn't lie, but is very upright. Integrity sounds easy, but not many people can do that. In every situation, you are a special child. I have seen through countless people with my own mind. That's why I dare to assure you that everyone is worried about the future. From now on, I will support you. Help him not to go astray. Tanjiro, after hearing the above words, burst into tears and said he would try. Thank him Himejima after that. He also patted Tanjiro's head the same way he patted the head of the child's name. Then Namtrue said his training was complete and praised Tanjiro for doing a great job. Then Genya said Namtrue was indeed a good person even though he said I had no talent so I couldn't accept him as his successor. But when he learned about my devil eater accepted me as his disciple and introduced him to the worm's place to check body condition. After that Inosuke took Jisu's food but Tanio stopped him and told him not to take his part, but Inosuke said if Jisu didn't come back to eat it meant he didn't want to eat, but then Inosuke let him. Reluctantly, Genya thought that Tanjiro would criticize him a lot because he was quite stubborn, but in the end, Tanjiro didn't complain and said that if he couldn't use his breath, he would be just like Genya, and after finishing this meal, he will go to the water pillar and ask Genya if he will come with him. Genya said that he hasn't been able to push the rock 100 times, so how can he go with Tanjiro after knowing that Genya can't use it? When he was able to breathe, Inosuke called him cheap, so the two rushed into a fight. After controlling Inosuke, Tanjiro told Genya that if he went with him, we could talk about the wind along the way. Genya's son then brought food to Jisu and asked him if he had moved the rock. After receiving the answer that he had not, Tanjiro announced that he would go to the next training area. I didn't see Jisu say anything, so it made Tanjiro worried. Jisu told Tanjiro to try hard and he just wanted to clarify what he should do and what he had to do. Tanjiro wondered what happened to Jisu. So you also wanted to help him, but Jisu told Tanjiro to just do what you need to do. Although Tanjiro was also worried, he had to leave the food behind and leave. Jisu also understood Tanjiro's kindness, but this matter was private. You do it yourself Tanjiro while walking and taking care of Jisu and even Nezuko. Is it okay to leave her to someone else to take care of like that? Will she remember me? After arriving at the water pillar, you immediately heard the sound of a wooden sword. Running in to see, he saw the water pillar and the wind pillar fighting each other. He was also surprised at how fast these two people were, but he was still able to keep up with their movements. In the end, their swords were broken. And Feng Tru said that next will be killing each other with their bare hands. Tanjiro heard that and immediately jumped in and said not to kill each other. Feng Chu asked you to shut up and you have been banned from contacting me and you've been looking at me for a while now. Is it sneaky? This cheap guy Tanjiro innocently asked the two of you to fight over red bean sticky rice cake. If that's the case, then let me fill you up so you can eat and fill your stomach. Are you kidding me, Tanjiro? Trying to explain, isn't it Shinazugawa who likes it? Red bean sticky rice cakes are great, aren't they? When I was training at your place, I often smelled the faint smell of sticky rice. Whenever you came back, I could smell the aroma of green tea and red bean sticky rice cakes, so I was convinced that when I heard that, Tuichu also then he asked Shinazugawa if he liked to eat red bean sticky rice cakes. Tanjiro also kept talking about red bean sticky rice cakes, making Feng's blood boil and gave him a punch. Later when he woke up, he was informed by the water pillar that Feng's pillar was too annoying so he left. Tanjiro he also asked why the two of them were fighting. The water pillar explained that the big pillars fighting each other was also part of the special training of the big pillars. At this point, Tanjiro understood. He remembered that the two of them used wooden swords, not real swords. He also apologized for hindering Tui Tru and said that because he was not good with words, Fong Tru was always angry, but it was good to know his favorite dish. Next time I will have red bean sticky rice cakes in my bag. Shirt said that when I meet Shinizugawa, I can give him Tanjiro, which is also a great idea. Tui Tru also added, if we do that, it will definitely make us closer to each other. That night, Fong Tru was still upset about the past. In the afternoon, I wished that there was a Bean and Ha Tru here to beat me properly, but Tui Tru kept being harassed by him. Especially Tanjiro, who kept talking about red bean cakes, making him even more angry. As he was walking, he suddenly stopped and quickly grabbed it. When something opened from behind, it was the eyes of the upper fourth brother, who also sensed that the village had been invaded and changed the scene to the underworld. He was walking slowly towards the village to meet the last princess. The two of them also met the princess and said this was the first time we met. Kibitsuji Muon with an arrogant face said that it was unexpected. Your appearance is so unsightly, Yuiki.
Hello and welcome to Android Recap. For those of you who enjoy movies, but don't have the time to watch them, don't worry, because on this channel, you will find complete stories of exciting films that will be completed in a matter of minutes. I'd like to wish everyone a happy and great day. Stay tuned for more Android Recap.